Employee 7. This video will demonstrate how you can complete step 9, which is very similar to step 10. So step 9 is to identify between 5 and 10 examples of good shots. So keep that in mind, it's only 5 to 10 shots, not every single shot. Ideally, you want to identify the camera angle, the camera movement, and the shot size in that order in your labels. Some of the shots, though, won't actually have any noticeable camera angle or camera movement, in which case it's okay just to identify the shot size. Here's, I've paused my video on this shot of one of the characters, Splinter, and I can tell it's one of those shots that's halfway between a close-up and a medium shot, so this is actually a medium close-up shot. So we will use PowerPoint to make one of these labels, so you can see these labels that have already been put into the video so far. So we're going to make like that. So I'm going to go to PowerPoint, and we go Insert, Text Box, and I'm going to just type down the words medium close-up shot. And then what we can do is to make this label a little bit more visually appealing, we're going to increase the size of it. I'm going to add a color just to make it pop out a little bit. Change the color of the font, make sure it stands out really nicely, and choose a font that is in some way relevant. Okay, and then there's a few other things you can do. I can add an outline and then make that outline a little bit thicker, and then I think this is kind of suitable for the movie, a little squiggly outline. Okay, so once we've made our shot like that, our label, we click on the border and then we right click, and that brings up an option to save as picture. So click on that, save as picture, and you're going to save it in the folder that you've made. So the folder that you've made is called Video Critique. My folder is a little bit different. And inside that folder, you can make another folder called Shots. So if you click on the option there to create a new folder, you can call that folder Shots, and inside that folder is where you can save all of your shot labels. So call it by its name. So this is a medium close-up shot. I've already got one called medium close-up shot, so I might just call this one medium close-up shot demo, because I'm just demonstrating to you, and then click save. So we've saved that as an image. We want to get that into Shotcut. Okay, so Shotcut, we need to have the playlist open. That's this area here where we can import our media. And I like to do it like this. I have my File Explorer open, and you find the place where you've saved your file, and you can just drag it into the space over there. And there it is, medium close-up shot. So it's always a good idea, keep saving Shotcut every time you make a change, and we will then drag the label down into the space where it belongs. So medium close-up shot there to identify that shot of Splinter. Now it's in the middle of the screen. We want to be able to move it out of the way so it's not taking up the actual image from the movie. So with the label clicked in the timeline, we will go over here to where it says Filters. I'm going to click Filters, and then hit the plus button, and then if you type in the word Size, it comes up with this option, Size, Position, and Rotate. Click on that, and that filter has now been applied to that, that label. So now I can just resize it, reposition it somewhere out of the way. Okay. And make sure it's just in the position, so it's a little bit too, that's where the label should start. So I'll just move it ahead a little bit, and it goes just a little bit longer as well. Okay, so that's the process for identifying your shots. So there are some shots that will have an angle as well as some camera movement, and it's really good if you can identify at least one shot that maybe has a few more of those elements rather than just the shot size itself. So it's the same process to identify the music. There's a little bit of music in this scene. So you make the label, identify it, save the label, the same process. You drag it into the playlist area, and you drag it down onto the timeline, apply the filter called size, position, and rotate, and put it somewhere out of the way. Now, something you can do to add a little bit more make it a little bit more visually appealing is do these little fade in and fade outs for each of the labels. So you can see when I hover my mouse, my cursor, around the beginning of that clip there, a little black dot appears, and when you drag it, it creates a fade in. So that just looks nice. So when the labels fade in, and then you can do the same thing at the end of the label so the label fades out. Okay, that looks really nice. Keep saving it as well.